Hey guys, Demoman here, and this is a video on the Retaliator bomber as voted by you. Yes, this video is a day early, but what the hell, right? Yeah, but I need to get some stuff sorted out, and this will be the last Megaship video I do for a little while, because on the 20th I'll be having an operation, and after that I'll need some time to recover, and then I'll be back, and nothing should be different, hopefully. Right, so let's continue. So, the Retaliator bomber, which is one of my favorite ships. It's a really awesome ship, by the way, guys. And yeah, I'm really happy that you chose to vote for it. It's a pretty awesome one. I used to own a Retaliator bomber a while ago, but I had to melt it down and my Caterpillar to get a Polaris. But at some point in the future, I plan on getting a Retaliator bomber back again. So yeah, let's continue on here. So, the Retaliator bomber is more or less a flying fortress in Star Citizen. It mounts 5 turrets and has, 6 ejection pods, which also count as living quarters. It has an armory station in the top level, just when you climb the ladder behind the pilot seat. The pilot seat has this really cool sort of animation when you get in. It mounts some serious heavy firepower. Also, the Retaliator in itself is very modular. You can swap out the weapon modules for things like a dropship module, living quarters, or even trade, things like this. And there's many different types of armament planned for the Retaliator bomber, such as cluster missiles, anti-capital ship torpedoes, you name it. There's all different types. So let's dive in and learn more about this ship together, guys. So now we're going to learn more about the modules together, so let's read what it says. Time to put the bombs away. Modular interiors are here. As you saw on the Gamescom presentation, Aegis Dynamics Retaliator Bomber is our test case for multi-crew ship in Arena Commander 2.0. But the Retaliator's job doesn't just stop there. Along with the Cutlass, it will be the first ship to have functioning modular interiors. Today we'll be going to present the first in 5 additional Retaliator modules to make them available for pledges for the next week. This is a long time ago, by the way, guys, so don't think this is going to be coming out anytime soon. This is back from the past. So let's continue. Existing Retaliators have 2 modular bays, which can be swapped out in your hangar. The versions available earlier in the campaign included 2 bomb bays for maximum combat punch. Now we're giving you more options to use your retired bombers in the verse. You can build your own cargo, dropships, or personal transport variants, or you can mix and match to build the perfect ship. Want 1 bomb bay and 1 living space, 1 cargo area and 1 dropship area? The choice is yours. Living space, front and rear. Your home away from home. The front and rear living quarters turns your Retaliator into a miniature hangar, complete with space to make your own. Standing equipment includes retractable dining table, hollow screen, personal storage area, and a drinks machine, front, or a sink. Personal storage area, 2 couches, retractable table, hollow screen, and in the rear, but it can be configured to your specifications. So you can move this stuff around, guys, and you can really have a nice sort of homey environment on your Retaliator bomber. If you really want, you could turn this thing into a sort of gun for hire that you live on board. You can have the front be the bomb bay and the rear be the standard issue, like smaller living quarters. So you can live in the back and live literally out of your Retaliator bomber, land it somewhere, have it be your mobile home, and still be used for combat. You know, you could jump in the front and say, right, you know, I'm up for hire. You know, I've got my torpedo launcher still. You know, I'm ready to kick ass. Or you could turn to a trade vessel and have your own living quarters in the back for those long journeys. Sure, it won't carry that much cargo, but I think this is a really nice ship to have in terms of these modules. I do regret melting mine down, but, you know, in the future there's always a chance to get one again. So let's continue to the cargo module. Replace your bomb bays with cargo. Each option, front and rear, includes the ability to add 20 standard cargo units of freight, and an independent lift platform for maximum loading speed. The lift platforms lower to the normal ground for easy loading and can be raised or lowered from either the station on the platform or from the ship's interior. That's pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see, there's 20 standard cargo units per an area, so that's 40 cargo units. It's not much, but this is really good for just shifting, say, munitions and stuff and weapon supplies from one place to the other under heavy protection. I would advise this for maybe a large group of players or an organization to use this thing as a combat cargo support vehicle for, like, a mission where you're on a planet, fighting another org who's bogged down in a base, and you're having to do sort of like a beachhead landing type invasion where you got like you've established your forward operating base. This would be really good from getting the supplies from your safe area to the enemy planet or enemy location, or even to another capital ship, dock it up and exchange the supplies. This ship is really good for that. So let's continue to the dropship module. Dropship, front only. Get ready for the amphibious assault. The Retaliator dropship module has seats for 12 troopers, complete with safety harnesses and 2 heavy weapon racks in the middle of the lift. The outer ring of the bay serves as an armory, including 2 grenade/ammunition cases, 4 rifle racks, 2 sidearm racks, and energy recharge stations for all standard power armor. That's power armor, guys! Come on, how cool is that? Full on, kind of power armor. That's so cool! I can't wait for that. Like, imagine that, like your Marines are all getting geared up. Has anyone, well, I know I'm asking this and I'm not going to get a response right away as I'm making the video now. But yeah, if you guys have seen Live, Die, Repeat, you'll know what I'm talking about. Edge of Tomorrow, whatever it's called. When they have those suits, it'd be cool if we have sort of like a more heavily armored version of that for, full on hand-to-hand and ground combat. I don't mind the light and medium armor we have at the moment, but it would be kick-ass to have proper power armor, Brotherhood of Steel type stuff. Saying the word Space Marine armor would be stretching it way too far in my opinion. Space Marines are just super OP in this kind of a game. But yeah, maybe even something similar to the Spartan armor from Halo. That would be cool, that's power armor. So yeah, we'll have to see where it goes with this, but yeah, power armor. I'm looking forward to that. So, the torpedo bays, which obviously everybody here already knows, the standard equipment for most UEE military retaliators. The ship was designed to mount 2 torpedo bays. The forward bay carries 4 torpedoes, while the rear bay adds 2 more. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. The reloading mechanism in the front bay is pretty cool. The torpedoes themselves are absolutely massive, guys. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the size of the ones on the torpedo because they are slightly bigger. But the ones in the Retaliator are absolutely huge. They're like giant cigars of death. So, yeah, let's continue on with the Retaliator here. So, technical information. Focus, heavy bomber, length 71 meters, mass 188,000 kilograms, max crew of 6, cargo capacity 128 cargo units. That's SCU, standard cargo units. Got 2 tier 5 engines, we got 2 tier 3 maneuvering thrusters in the forward area, but for the back, now this is where it really matters. Let's see, we got 5, 10, 15. So we have 18 tier 4 maneuvering thrusters. It has an S6 size 6 power plant. That's pretty good for a ship like this, and trust me, it'll need it. A size 3 shield, 5 man turrets, and 2 size 3 pylon mounts. And has no additional equipment, but we already know about the modules. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to see this thing like in the verse in its full glory when it's all fleshed out. Just seeing a Retaliator bomber making its round as either a trade vessel or a dropship would be a nice sight to behold. It is a very, very beautiful ship. Has a nice, awesome design to it, but it's also quite stealthy, by the way, guys. You have your you can lower your signature and things like this. And you can do really, really bare minimum running on this type of a ship. It may be old, but it's designed to get in and deliver torpedoes, and you can't do that if they see you coming from miles and miles away. It's a natural-born capital ship killer, guys. So if you own a Polaris, this is the worst thing to see on your radar. If you do pick it up, by the time you have, it's probably already deployed its payload with its really long-range lock-on system. So be very careful, guys. Always look out for Retaliator bombers and Gladiator bombers. But the Retaliator especially because it mounts 4 anti-capital ship torpedoes. designed to take out things like frigates and things like that. Sure, it may cripple a ship with one Retaliator's full payload. If it hits the Polaris, you're looking at serious damage, maybe to engineering and things like this, so you'll need to return for repairs. But if you see at least 3 of these things coming, it could spell the end of your ship. So be very careful, guys. Retaliator bombers are incredibly effective. They mount good armor on them too, and the turret placement is literally fantastic coverage for the whole ship. So yeah, let's continue here. So guys, let's jump into the history of the Retaliator bomber now, because this is a ship that is literally like covered and got a huge trail in the books of history of Star Citizen. It's been in every major engagement of the UEE and whatnot. It's been a weapon of tyrants and things like this. You gotta remember the Retaliator bomber was the symbol of the Mesa era. This was the ship that everybody recognized. Like Aegis Dynamics, you have to remember this, was what the basically Panzer Division and things like this, the people who made the Panzer tanks to the German army during World War II, these guys were the bad guys. And Retaliators were like the Tiger tanks. So let's continue on and I'll read to you guys the history of the Retaliator bomber. Since its introduction in the 26th century, Aegis Dynamics Retaliator has a distinguished, if conflicted, history. So, let's jump in. A weapon of war, the symbol of a tyrant, a ship of trade. From the drawing board to the battle zone, an in-depth look at creating a legend. Before the single design began, researchers performed exclusive interviews with military pilots to understand what was lacking in the contemporary bombers of the time. The Rakan, nickname for the 26th century bomber, flies like a tug, got no give on both sides. Sure, it can carry bulk to cause a lot of hurt, but that doesn't matter if you get clipped before you drop. Lieutenant Commander Warden Feeler, CW 58 UPE Navy, from the Retaliator Research Interview Archive. Our collection of original design sketches are a highlight of the exhibit. Built for use, intuitive and functional rather than aesthetic. Our journey begins in the brain of this aging warship's Aegis Astroengineering set out to make a long-range bomber with the pilot in mind. So as you can see here, the ship was designed around the pilot, and that's pretty cool. This pilot-centric approach drove the design decisions of what became the Retaliator, the heavy ordnance weapons platform capable of handling both fighters and ground targets. Battlefield versatility. Adaptable and deadly ordnance delivery, the Retaliator emerged as a versatile, heavy-hitting weapons platform. It delivers devastating attacks against capital ships and planet targets, thanks to its revolutionary rotary launcher system. Nicknamed the Roto by earlier test crews, this launcher system allows the Starman to load torpedoes of varying payloads, and then let the bombarder rotate and fire the ordnance best suited for the situation. Personal defense, no job too small. While its heavy strike capabilities are well documented, the ship's ability to withstand assault are less well known. The Retaliator features 5-man turrets, giving an overlapping field of fire. As I was saying earlier, the overlapping field of fire is really what makes this ship hard to take down if you're in a fighter. This helps protect the ship from all directions of attack, and these turrets have allowed the Retaliator to push deeper beyond enemy lines with less fighter support. The Tally comes home, advancing from the battlefield to the private sector. Although the Retaliator was almost synonymous with the reign of the Messers and began to see decreased usage as the military distanced itself from that era, the ship began surprising resurgence in the private sector. One of Aegis' most ingenious designs, a removable ordnance bay allows for the entire section to come out for repairs. This feature saw Aegis design replacement modules to fit with the pro-existing mounts for the Retaliator to fulfill a brand new array of civilian applications, such as cargo hauling, prisoner transport, and even expanded captain-crew quarters, and the dropship module. Retaliator 2945, the newest addition to our collection. Our Retaliator is our home, it is our protector, our shepherd through the black, and it is our fury. 59th Bomber Squadron mantra, 2720. I had never seen something as devastating or as beautiful as a fleet of Retaliators. lighting up the Tevs. So the Taverons, that was the people that we fought, the bird people. Captain Iva Messer 2544. So yeah, it's a pretty evil. Natural born Cap Killer, a heavy ordnance first strike platform. We need a ship to stalk and damage heavy prey. That was a design brief written by Aaron Tracy during the initial engineering meeting of what would become the Retaliator. The military needed a ship that could deploy faster than a capital ship, could access a wider variety of jump points, and could still deliver payloads of near equal size and devastation. While a formidable foe of its own, Retaliators has time and again proved to be more than a match for larger class vessels. The versatile roto system allows for modern torpedoes such as this to be used in an array of model Retaliators. So basically there's different types of Retaliators you can get and things like this in the verse. They are very old ships, guys, so please take this in mind. They will need a lot of maintenance and things like that. But because of its size and its age, there's going to be tons of replacement parts, and it's not too big of a problem to repair. It's not that big a ship in terms of the size of ships you can get in the verse, but it's still pretty big, guys. I mean, I remember I used to have to walk around the inside of the Retaliator bomber, and it has everything. It's got showers, and you name it. It's got a bathroom. Yeah, it's got a medical bay as well, by the way, guys, on board that ship. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, let's continue here in the history of the Retaliator bomber. Hero or villain. In a variety of potential weapons, this stood alone. The Retaliator and its brave pilots have been heralded throughout the Empire's history, but the ship has also found itself at the center of controversy. During the later Mesa years, the Navy's decision to use cluster missiles against political activist group hiding in what is now the Haven sparked debate throughout the UEE. So basically what happened was there was a bunch of people who were political activists, and back then it was a total dictatorship when how it would work is, like, you know, the Messa's son would take over when he passed away, and his son would take over, and so on and so forth. And if anyone did try to say anything bad against them, they'd use deadly force. People would go missing, but in this scenario, it was a public situation, and a group of activists were just minding their own business pretty much. And Retaliators came in and used cluster missiles. That's the kind of stuff you'd use on a base, and wiped them out. So yeah, let's continue here. The cluster missile, which when fired dispersed into a barrage of smaller payload deliveries, were considered an extreme measure to use against civilians. While the debate still goes on today over what was considered acceptable of the use of force, cluster missiles continue to be a powerful tool in the Retaliator's arsenal. Because, you know, if you wipe out a bunch of civilians, that doesn't constitute them to stop building a weapon. So yeah, let's continue here. By the numbers. 5 twin turrets manned, each turret size 4, 2 K and W CF 007 Bulldog repeater size 1, underbody front bay, capacity for large munitions, default loadouts cluster missiles, underbody rear bay, capacity for 2 large munitions. Default loadout cluster missiles. As you can see here, there are the main thrusters, the retro thrusters, and the twin turrets. Those are the ones on the top. Manufacturer Aegis Dynamics, Focus Heavy Bomber, Crew 6 Dry Mass, 188,000 kilograms, max mass 225,000 kilograms, cockpit is pressurized, it's capable of VTOL, it has a jump drive, power plant is 1 size 6 according to this, and cooling 2 size 2s, and a shield of size 3, 6 facings. So that's pretty cool. So as you can see here, it's 71 meters by 12 meters. You can see the underbody front bay and the underbody rear bay. Yeah, the front bomb bay may be replaced with modular cargo bay. It's 53 meters wide, so it's quite a wide ship. Main thrusters are 2 tier 5s. Retro thrusters are 2 tier 3s. VTOL thrusters are 6 tier 4s. And maneuvering thrusters are 8 tier 2 dorsal and ventral and 4 tier 2 lateral. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. An empire at war, the banner of service, defying the aggressor one bomb at a time. Retaliators are helping stop the Terran push, but they need brave pilots like you. Contact your local recruiter for details. Yeah, your local Retaliator for details. But yeah, let's continue here. After the Battle of Idris IV, Retaliators became common in recruitment messages for the First Terran War. Images like this one were created to help maintain the momentum of that landmark victory, cited by many historians as the turning point of the war. Messerschmitt, the ship that forged an empire. So yeah, this is a lore post on the Retaliator. As you can see, this ship is from the Maheo Museum, and yeah, this is apparently the only remaining original Retaliator, assembled in 2567 and is no longer flyable. Is serviced by the 58th Squadron Reenactment Cohort, and on the grounds of the Maheo. So look at that, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm hoping to see this in the verse, you know, go visit the museum and have a look at all these artifacts firsthand in the PU. That would be awesome. And have a look at the original Retaliator and see how much it differs from the newer models and whatnot. There might be some significant design changes. So yeah, would be cool to get an original Retaliator though in the verse. There might be some way of finding one that's, you know, been left and abandoned for, you know, like a long time, like a century or so. And yeah, no, it'd be nice to try and find it and fix her up and get her flying again. Let's hope that in Star System we'll have things like barn finds and stuff like that. So yeah. So that was the history of the Retaliator bomber, guys, and it is a pretty awesome ship. You know, like you gotta say to yourself, you know, this thing has kicked a lot of ass in the lore of Star Citizen, and has carved its way through history like a meat cleaver. So yeah. But yeah, in terms of practical use, by the way, guys, in the persistent universe, this ship is going to be pretty good. Do not use it for things like exploration and stuff like that. It's not really designed for this. But if you are if you have a militia organization, or if you're part of a militia, I'd recommend that you have a couple of Retaliators. It is an essential ship to that kind of a force. If you're a mercenary outfit, you need something like one bomber in your group. Maybe there's a small unit of you guys. Maybe about to say there's 10 or 15 of you. A Retaliator bomber is essential because you need something to, you know, counteract say if a Polaris comes into your system, you need to have some form of defense. Even crippling the Polaris is a win, because, you know, in terms of the resources it would take to fix up a ship like that, it will take a little while, and obviously, you know, a Retaliator bomber is fast enough and maneuverable enough to get out of trouble. But whatever you do, do not strain the forward arc of a Polaris. That would be very bad indeed. Your ship would disappear in literally seconds, or any capital ship for that matter. But if you have a squadron of Retaliator bombers, or perhaps even more, you are looking at taking down capital ships completely. You're going to need quite a few of them to bring down like a combined bomber unit to bring down a Javelin or a Idris or something like that. But it would be pretty cool. So yeah, Retaliators are definitely a 10 out of 10 in my book. If you are thinking of purchasing one, then grab one. These ships are fantastic. They really are. So that should wrap it up for the Retaliator bomber, guys. Thank you so much for watching another Megaship video, and I'll be able to do another Megaship video as soon as I have recovered from hospital. And yeah, thank you all so much for supporting me and supporting the channel. It really does make all the difference. I have made over 100 Star Citizen videos for free for you guys, and it's been an honor doing so, and hopefully I'll be back and able to continue this if I'm not dead. But yeah, it has been fantastic making you all these videos. It's been a real pleasure, guys, and I'm going to continue to do so the second I'm ready to, you know, all healed up and whatnot and ready to kick ass. So yeah, let's keep this going, guys, and I'll see you in the verse. So fly safe, commanders, and I'll see you in the verse. There you go. Alright, take it easy, guys.